What if everything you were taught about Jesus was carefully filtered? What if the most powerful religious institutions on earth have been hiding a secret so explosive, so controversial, that it could shake the very foundations of Christianity? Today, we're diving deep into historical documents that were buried, banned, and forgotten for nearly 2,000 years. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this secret was considered too dangerous for the world to know. And before we begin this forbidden journey, hit that subscribe button, because honestly, YouTube's algorithm often suppresses content like this. The year is 325 AD. Emperor Constantine calls the Council of Nicaea not just a religious gathering but a political power move that would reshape Christianity forever. But here's what they don't teach in Sunday school. This wasn't about spiritual truth. This was about control, unity, and eliminating competing Christian beliefs that threatened the Roman Empire's stability. During this period, hundreds of Christian texts, gospels, and teachings were systematically removed, hidden, or destroyed. These weren't random documents. They were sacred texts followed by millions of early Christians. From Egypt to Syria, from Rome to Ethiopia, early Christian communities had vastly different understandings of who Jesus was, what he taught, and most importantly, what he truly represented. In 1945, everything changed. In a remote corner of Egypt, beneath the relentless desert sun, a discovery was about to rewrite history and challenge everything we thought we knew about early Christianity. A local farmer in Nag Hammadi, Egypt, while digging for fertilizer, stumbled upon a large, sealed clay jar buried deep in the earth. Inside he found not gold or jewels, but something far more valuable. 52 ancient texts, carefully preserved and hidden away for centuries. These weren't just any documents. They were early Christian gospels and writings, many of which had been lost to history and suppressed by the early church. For over 1,600 years, these texts remained hidden, their secrets waiting to be revealed. Among the most astonishing discoveries was the Gospel of Thomas, a collection of 114 enigmatic sayings attributed to Jesus. These sayings, never included in the official Bible, offer a radically different perspective on his teachings. But here's the shocking part. These texts reveal a Jesus who spoke of inner enlightenment, personal transformation, and a direct connection to the divine. His words challenge the traditional doctrines and invite us to look within for truth, rather than relying solely on external authority. In the Gospel of Thomas, Jesus says, "The kingdom of heaven is inside you and outside you. When you know yourselves, then you will be known and you will understand that you are children of the living Father." This message is both empowering and deeply mystical. This wasn't the Jesus of organized religion. This was a Jesus teaching direct spiritual experience, inner knowing, and personal transformation without the need for institutional intermediaries. It was a call to awaken to our own divine nature. The Gospel of Philip goes even further, suggesting Jesus possessed esoteric knowledge about the very fabric of reality, wisdom that was considered too profound, even dangerous for the general public. The Nag Hammadi discovery opened a window into a lost world of spiritual exploration and hidden teachings, forever changing our understanding of early Christianity. But perhaps the most explosive and controversial revelation in all of early Christian history involves Mary Magdalene, a figure whose story has been shrouded in mystery, speculation, and centuries of debate. The so-called hidden or lost Gospels don't just mention her in passing. They actually elevate her to a position of extraordinary importance, describing her as Jesus' closest disciple, his confidant, and even his spiritual equal. In the Gospel of Mary, for example, she receives profound visions and secret teachings directly from Jesus. Insights so deep and mysterious that, according to the text, even the male disciples struggle to comprehend them. When Peter, one of Jesus' most prominent followers, objects to her authority and questions her closeness to Jesus, the text describes Jesus himself stepping in to defend her, insisting that Mary truly understands his message better than the others. But here's where the story takes an even more dramatic turn. Several ancient texts, long hidden from mainstream Christianity, suggest that Jesus and Mary Magdalene were not just spiritual partners, but may have actually been married. The Gospel of Philip, for instance, contains a striking passage. The companion of Jesus was Mary Magdalene. The word companion here is loaded with meaning, hinting at a relationship far deeper than simple friendship. It goes even further, stating that Jesus loved her more than all the other disciples, and that he used to kiss her often on her mouth, a detail that has fueled centuries of speculation about the true nature of their bond. Now, before you dismiss this as mere legend or heresy, consider the cultural context. In first-century Jewish society, it would have been extremely unusual, even scandalous, for a respected rabbi like Jesus to remain unmarried. Marriage wasn't just a personal choice, it was considered a religious and social duty, a fundamental expectation for any Jewish teacher or leader of the time. The systematic suppression of Mary Magdalene's true role wasn't just about hiding a possible marriage, it was about erasing the feminine aspect of divinity that early Christians once recognized, honored, and in many cases, openly celebrated. Her story challenges us to rethink everything we thought we knew about the origins of Christianity. So why was this knowledge suppressed? What forces were at play that led to the silencing of these ancient voices and the erasure of their beliefs from mainstream history? The answer lies not in a quest for spiritual truth, but in the pursuit of political power and control over the masses. Early Christianity was a tapestry of beliefs and practices. Some groups believed Jesus was fully divine, a god walking among mortals, while others insisted he was entirely human, a wise teacher and prophet whose life was an example to follow. Still others saw him as a spiritual guide, revealing secret paths to enlightenment and inner transformation. This rich diversity, however, posed a direct threat to the Roman authorities who feared that such differences could undermine their fragile grip on power. Emperor Constantine recognized that a fractured faith could not unify his vast and diverse empire. He needed a single, cohesive religion to serve as the glue that held his realm together. The Nicene Creed, often thought of as a sacred declaration, was in reality a carefully crafted political document, engineered to enforce unity and suppress dissent. Any Christian belief that emphasized personal spiritual experience, or challenged the authority of the institutional church, was declared heretical and ruthlessly stamped out. The Gnostic Christians, who cherished these hidden teachings, and valued direct experience of the divine, became targets of systematic persecution and violence. To preserve their wisdom, they hid their sacred texts, burying them in remote deserts and sealing them in clay jars, hoping that future generations might one day rediscover them. Their communities were scattered, their meeting places destroyed, and their voices nearly lost to history. For centuries, the Catholic Church maintained an iron grip on Christian doctrine, deciding what was orthodox and what was forbidden. Access to ancient manuscripts was strictly limited to a select group of church scholars, with ordinary believers kept in the dark. Any discoveries that contradicted official teachings were often hidden away, destroyed, or reinterpreted to fit the established narrative. Only in the last century, with the groundbreaking discoveries of the Nag Hammadi library and the Dead Sea Scrolls, have these lost voices begun to emerge from the shadows. Now, for the first time in nearly 2,000 years, we can glimpse the true diversity and complexity of early Christianity, and it's honestly nothing like what most people were taught. The story is far richer, more complicated, and more human than we ever imagined. These revelations don't just challenge historical narratives, they fundamentally question the authority of organized religion itself. If Jesus taught direct spiritual experience, if he emphasized the divine within each person, if he worked with feminine spiritual energy through Mary Magdalene, then the entire hierarchical structure of traditional Christianity becomes, well, pretty questionable. These hidden teachings align more closely with Eastern spirituality, ancient mystery schools, and indigenous wisdom traditions, all emphasizing personal transformation over institutional control. This might explain why millions of people today are leaving traditional churches, but still seeking spiritual connection. They're unconsciously drawn to what Jesus might have actually taught, direct experience of the divine within. Modern scholars like Elaine Pagels, Bart Ehrman, and Marvin Meyer have spent decades translating and analyzing these texts, confirming that early Christianity was far more mystical, diverse, and honestly empowering than we were told. The secret they hid for 2,000 years isn't just about Jesus, it's about the power of individual spiritual awakening versus institutional control. These ancient texts are available today, you can read them yourself. The Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Mary, the Gospel of Philip, they're all accessible to anyone willing to explore beyond conventional religious boundaries. What do you think? Were these teachings suppressed for spiritual reasons or political ones? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if this opened your mind to hidden history, subscribe for more forbidden knowledge that challenges everything you thought you knew. Next week we're uncovering the lost years of Jesus, where the Bible is completely silent about his life from age 12 to 30. You won't believe what ancient Eastern texts reveal about this mysterious period. Until then, keep questioning, keep seeking, and remember, the truth is often hidden in plain sight.